In this video, we're going to learn how to deal with probability problems involving and or rules. Alright, now this is very important aspect of probability. Okay, so ensure you stay to the very end of this video. Alright, because I'm going to simplify everything for you guys here. Okay, so having known this, let's begin with the and rules. Now, let me bring a question that will help us to understand this and rule. Okay, so let me get a question before I begin to say something about this and rules. Okay, guys, now let's look at this typical question. Alright, it says that Dave picks one ball at random from each of bags X and Y. Find the probability that he picks a yellow ball from both bags. Now, note that these and or rules of probabilities are applied when you want to find the probabilities of more than one thing happening at a time. Okay, remember that we are looking at the and rule first. All right, remember what I just said. I said that these and or rules are applied when you want to find probabilities of more than one thing happening at a time. Okay, so for this and rule, these are the basic facts you need to know. Right, you need to know when events are dependent or what independent. Okay, now two events are independent if one event happening doesn't affect the probability of the other happening. All right, that's the other event happening. If one event happening does affect the probability of the other event happening, the events are said to be what? Dependent. So take note of the difference between dependent and what? Independent events. For independent events, the event of one happening does not affect the probability of the other event happening, whereas for dependent events, the event of one happening does affect the probability of the other event happening. Okay, so basically for the and rule, when the events happening are independent, okay, we can apply this formula. We can say that the probability of events, let's say event A and B, both happening, will be equal to the two separate probabilities multiplied together. Right, so basically it will be probability of events A mathematically can be expressed as probability of events A and B happening equals the two separate probabilities multiplied together. So it will be probability of A, alright, separate, times probability of B, separate, happening. Okay, now this is for when the two events are independent, whereas if the two events happening are dependent, we are going to apply or make use of conditional probability rule, which is not what we are going to explain in this video. I'm going to create a separate video for conditional probability rule, all right, that involves two events happening that are dependent on each other under the and rule. Okay, but let's focus on independent events happening under this and rule. Let's focus on how to make use of this formula for it. All right, so with this question now, we have here above to solve it. The question says again, Dave picks one ball as random for each of bags X and Y. Find the probability that he picks a yellow ball from both bags. Okay, we are dealing with the and rule here, and the events here happening are independent. Okay, so basically we are going to start by saying or by finding the probabilities of the different events. All right, so the probability of Dave picking a yellow ball from bag X will be how many total number of balls do we have here in bag X? We have 10. If you count them, we have 10. So how many yellow balls are here? We have it to be 4. So the probability of Dave picking a yellow ball from bag X will be 4 over 10. When you break this down, it will give you 0.4. Alright, this is for bag X. Now for bag Y, the probability of Dave picking a ball from bag Y, picking a yellow ball from bag Y will be, we have how many yellow balls in bag Y? You have 2. Total number of balls in bag Y, you have it to be 8. So when you break this down, it will give you 1 over 4 which is the same thing as 0.25. Okay, so that's it for this Y event. Now to now get the probability that he picks a yellow ball from both bags, all right, we can now apply this formula we have here. So it will be probability of Dave picking a yellow ball from S bag times probability of Dave picking a yellow ball from Y bag. All right, so it will be this times this. That's 0.4 times 0.25. So when you punch it in the calculator, you have it to be what? 0.1. All right, so that's it for the AND rule. Okay, when the events are independent. Okay, now let's wipe this and look at what the OR rule or probability is talking about before we call it a class. Okay guys, let's look at this typical question where the OR rule or probability can be applied. It says a spinner with red, blue, green and yellow sections is formed. The probability of it landing on each color is shown in the table below. Find the probability of spinning either red or green. All right, now let's take note of a few facts about the OR probability. Okay, now for two events, let's say A and B, the probability of either event A or event B happening is equal to the two separate probabilities added together minus the probability of events A and B both happening. Basically, it can be expressed mathematically as the probability of either event A or B happening is equal to the two separate probabilities, the probability of A plus probability of B added together is equal to the two separate probabilities added together minus the probability of events A and B both happening. Okay, probability of events A and B both what happening. Now note again that if the events, let's say A and B, can't happen together, then the probability of events A and B will be equal to what? 0. All right, the probability of event A and B will equal to what? 0. The OR rule will now become the probability of either event A or event B happening. That probability of either event A or B happening equals the two separate probabilities added together without minusing anything. Alright, it now becomes the two separate probabilities added together. Okay, so this is basically what we're going to have when two events, let's say A and B, can't happen together. Now note that when two events can't happen together, they are called mutually exclusive events. Alright, they are referred to as mutually exclusive events, which is typically what we have here. Okay, now having known this basic information about the OR rule for probability, okay, now let's go ahead and solve this question I have here. Alright, so the question here says spinner with red, blue, green and yellow sections is formed. The probability of it landing on each color is shown in the table below. Find the probability of spinning either red or what? Green. Okay, so from this question, the spinner can't land on both red and green. Alright, so this shows us that the events here can't happen together. That means we're going to make use of this simple OR rule and not this one you minus. Okay, so when you do this, the probability of red or green, all right, will be probability of red plus probability of green. This is A. So when you do the simple math, our probability of red is 0.25 plus probability of green, which is 0.1. So when you punch this in a calculator, you're going to have it to be 0.35. All right, and that will be the answer to this question. Okay, so hope you learned something interesting from this video. No practice question here. The main thing for you to understand the idea behind the or and probability rules. Okay, now note again that when using the and rule, check whether the events are dependent or independent. All right, when using the or rule, check if the events can happen together. If the events can happen together for the or rule, we make use of this formula. But if the events can happen together for the or rule, we make use of this formula. Now, for the and rule, if the events are independent, you solve it the way we solved with the practice question we made use of, the example we made use of. But if the events are dependent, you use conditional probability rule, which I'm going to explain in a separate video. All right, always remember that multiplication is for and addition is for all rule. Now, if you are new to the channel, ensure you check the description of this video below now for a link to our Telegram channel. Click on it and join the Telegram channel for instant notification. Also, ensure you are subscribed to this channel by hitting the subscribe button for more videos like this. Like, share, and comment on this video. Tell me how you feel on what you have learned from this class. If you seem to have any specific questions to ask regarding this or and rules of probability, feel free to leave your question in the comment section below, and I will ensure to give you a response. Now click on the end screen above, and I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.